Hi everyone, Quillfan here again. This is going to be quite a different video than I usually do, and I hope you're fine with that. Because I am going to talk about my view on two tarot cards, actually. This very morning, while brushing my teeth, I started thinking about a live chat Kelly from The Truth in Story had a couple days ago. It was one of those live chats with a topic, and she talked about hope and expectations, and she related that to the star card, which in itself is quite obvious, as hope, the word hope usually is associated with the star. So she talked about the, let's say, the danger, or maybe the negative connotation the word hope has. Because if you are hoping on tomorrow, if you're hoping on someone to save you, if you're hoping on a specific thing or a specific situation to make you happy, then you are actually focusing on the future, on that thing, and you are not living in the moment. You're not finding your happiness or your solution or whatever in the exact moment you are living in right now. This is like, in a nutshell, what it was about. I will link to the video in the description box below, and you can also click at the eye in the sky to go and watch this video, because it was quite interesting. And I remember that I wrote in the actual chat of the chit chat that to me the star card is less associated to the word hope than it is to the word faith. And this morning, while brushing my teeth, I realized that actually it is not, because it is associated to both, but both words are not the words that I would choose to actually describe the star. So I started to think about what word would I use? What word is strong enough to really describe the star card to me? And the one word I came up with, or at least to be honest, it's two words, is basic trust. In German, it's Urvertrauen. And if I'm not mistaken, it is actually a term brought up by Freud. It's definitely a psychological concept, not psychic. It's a psychological concept. And to break it down very much and to really sum it up, excuse me. So if you study psychology, I'm not going to be thorough here. I will really break it down. So please don't hit me. So to quickly say what basic trust means. This is the trust that babies learn in their very first months of living, where they learn that they can trust people, basically. That and in the end, they learn that they can trust themselves as well. But I will come to that later on. First and foremost, they will learn that they can trust people, that there are people who want their best, that there are people who are taking care of their essential needs, that there are people who simply have their backs. At least this is what we hope that babies learn if they are taken good care of. And because of that, they develop a sense of safety and security. And because they develop this sense of safety, then they are able to then start to explore their surroundings, to take a risk of doing something new, of be curious, of simply starting to learn, basically. And it's all because of this basic trust they learned in the very first month of their living. It is one of a lot of psychological theories, so it's nothing you have to believe in, obviously. This basic trust then, because of the experiences they make during learning, leads to succeeding in trying something new, to succeed in judging their surroundings. So is there danger? Is it safe? To succeed in making the right decisions. So essentially, it in the end leads to a healthy level of self-confidence, a healthy body image even. It leads to us being able to take on healthy relationships with other people, to trust other people, to trust ourselves, to trust in ourselves, that we make the right decisions, that we are reliable, that other people are reliable. So it all comes down in the end, like all these things we do in adulthood can be broken down to this very first months of living. Of course, there are other routes you could take. But if you have had if you have had a great start in life, it is much easier for you to develop all of those things. So again, this is basic trust in a nutshell, okay? So it's not the whole psychological concept. So again, this kind of basic trust, to me, is what is reflected in the star. And while I was thinking about that, while brushing my teeth, so people, you can have epiphanies while brushing your teeth, so brush your teeth. All right, to come back to that. While I was thinking about this, I actually remembered that I already had used this term to describe another card, a tarot card as well. In a discussion I had with Kelly, I think over a year ago. It was about one of her videos she did on the Fool when she did the card comparison series, which is a long time ago. And so now this morning I started to think, how can I apply the same term to two tarot cards? So is this possible? Am I wrong maybe? Do I have the wrong perspective on things? Why can I apply the same term? And I realized that I actually can apply the same term to cards. I will talk about that in a second. Let me quickly show you or tell you what is lying down here because I forgot. I am so unorganized sometimes. So, okay, this is the Tarot of the Sea, the Tarot Muha, the Shadowscape Tarot, the Tarot of the Hidden Realm, and this is the Tarot of Transformation. I only have this card out, to be honest, because I wanted to show you the star because it's one of my favorite star cards ever. I'm not that fond of the Fool, and I really would not use it today. Oh, actually, I know my thoughts are everywhere. I'm so sorry, but actually these 4 decks here are going to be the decks I'm going to use for hashtag Tarot Perspective. If you're interested to know what this is, it's an experience Kelly from The Truth in Story and Patrick from In the 78 Cards are hosting over on Instagram. I think on Kelly's Facebook page as well, like The Truth in Story. You can also take part or upload your pictures there if you want to. There are a couple of videos on YouTube already where they talk about what Tarot Perspective is and how to participate. So if you're interested, I will link to that in the description box below as well. But to come back to this. Again, basic trust is what I am talking about today and how to apply this to the Fool and the Star card as well. I start with the Fool, simply because. If you're looking at all of the Fool cards I have laid out here, you will realize that one thing they have in common is movement. In one way or the other, the Fools on the cards are moving. I hope you can actually see this because of the glare. Let's take this one because this is my absolute favorite Fool card ever. This is the Shadowscape Tarot. I trimmed it, as you can see. So to me, this card, this movement in this card indicates that we are supposed to move from this ground of safety, as we did as babies, as we did as childs, exploring our surroundings. So we should take a leap of faith. We should jump into life. We should jump into new ideas, jump into doing new things, doing things differently, maybe even, to change our path. And we can only do that because of this safety ground we have within us, because of the fact that we can rely on ourselves, because of the fact that we can rely on the decisions we are making and rely on our judgment. Because let's be honest here, I mean, look at her spreading her arms like wings. Look at her leaning forward, about to jump. She wouldn't do that if she would think from the bottom of her heart that she will crash down and die. I mean, if she was suicidal, of course she would do that. But if she was not suicidal, that's for a second think she's not suicidal doing this. She has to have this basic trust that she made the right decision to jump at this point. And to me, this is what the Fool card is all about. Again, it's about movement from the base of this basic trust. Now, if you look at the star cards, they are all pretty, not necessarily stagnant, but they are all pretty still in movement. There is not much movement in the stars going on. And to me, this is, again, if you combine this with the basic trust idea, it's about staying in a moment. It's about staying where you are, literally speaking. It's about, or metaphorically speaking, not literally. My goodness, I cannot talk. Because you can stay in a moment. You can actually endure something. You can work through something because, again, you have this basic trust that you have the capability of doing so, that you can cope with it. And because you have that, there is the potential for healing there, because you're not running away, because you're not placing your hope somewhere else, because you're not placing your trust on something else, because you are relying on yourself, and because you are relying on your capability of perseverance, and because if you're relying on your capability of endurance and of coping with a situation and of healing through it. So to me, and I mean, look at this star. I love it. Again, the concept is the same, but the outcome is a different one. But you have to have basic trust for both of those. And if you put it in shadow, if you put it in reverse mode, I don't read reversal, so this feels very unnatural to me, actually. But if you look at it in the shadow side, you then have to ask about your basic trust. So, do you really rely on yourself? Who do you trust right now? Do you really think that you can manage, or are you running away, or are you putting your hope on something else? Because I feel like hope and trust or hope and faith in their positive way of looking at things are highly connected to this basic trust. So again, in shadow, there is this possibility of the card saying, okay, you are running away, you are not living in the moment, you are hoping on things that take today away from you. In the upright version, it's not for me. In the upright version, I have to highly disagree. In the upright version, the star to me is one of the cards that kind of really suck you, really center you on the exact moment right now. And because of, look at this card, because of this inner fire, because of this inner strength that is inherent in the star card, because, again, of basic trust. If you look at the Fool in reverse, it's kind of similar. It also asks asks to reflect upon your basic trust. So, do you really can rely on your capability of scanning your surroundings for danger, of making the right decisions? Or are you simply kind of childish, in a childish way, ignoring everything and just jumping, just going for it. Because of course there is a danger in there as well. I mean, each and every coin has two sides, right? So, but again, for me, the essential thing, the essential base to start from for both of those cards actually is basic trust. I am not quite sure if I could come across with my point in here. I am not sure. Actually, I'm so sorry. I hope I did. I would love to hear your thoughts on this idea or on my viewpoint, or maybe simply on your way of looking at the star and maybe even looking at the Fool. I would really love to read all that in the comments. I will try to reply to as much as I can, because you all know that I'm all over the place right now. I'm quite busy. That's why I'm doing so few videos, but I'm sorry. I would even love to see video responses if you're inclined to do one, which I hope. So again, I hope that I did not stumble over my words too much and you kind of understand what I mean with that. And that you liked it. And I just hope you're having a gorgeous weekend. Bye.